Sniper Elite Resistance is the brand new action stealth third-person shooter in the iconic series, fully playable in co-op with a friend. It builds on the franchise's classic sniping mechanics and the legendary X-ray kill cam. But is that enough to make the game feel fresh and engaging?
Hey gamers, welcome back to Multiplayer Mayhem, the channel where you can discover new games to play with your friends. Let's dive straight into today's review.
The game is set in Nazi-occupied France, where the enemy is developing a terrifying new chemical weapon that could easily win them the war. As Harry Hawker and his French allies, your mission is to track down and destroy this weapon before it's too late. The story unfolds through dialogues and cutscenes between missions, each taking place on a different map. Gameplay-wise? Well, your first job is to snipe everything that moves, then search for clues about the weapon's location, assassinate high-ranking Nazi officers, sabotage their equipment and vehicles, and complete a few side objectives along the way. The heart of the gameplay is of course sniping, with adjustable rifle range settings and detailed ballistic mechanics that let you calculate bullet drop for those incredibly long-distance shots.
While the entire campaign is fully playable in co-op, the multiplayer feels more like a side feature than a core element truly supported by the game. Sure, playing with a friend makes it easier and faster to complete missions and side objectives, but honestly, the fun comes from who you're playing with, not from the game itself. In fact, co-op might end up being more of a curse than a blessing, and here's why. First off, the bugs. We don't know if they only happen in multiplayer or also in single player, but we ran into a ton of them in just a few hours, and we're not talking about small glitches. These were often game-breaking bugs. We had to reload saves or even restart entire missions because one of us got stuck in the environment, glitched through the floor, or couldn't interact with objectives. Another problem with co-op is that it makes stealth gameplay even harder, despite the game being clearly designed for a stealthy approach rather than full-on gunfights. And that's mainly because of the shared enemy radar. If one player alerts an enemy or gets spotted, both players are automatically considered in combat, even if one of them was playing perfectly stealthy. This often leads to confusing situations where you can't tell who the enemies are actually searching for. The only real advantage of co-op is being able to revive your teammate when they go down.
As always, the real highlight of Sniper Elite is the iconic X-ray kill cam. Every time you land a perfect shot to a vital organ or hit a target from long range, the game switches to a slow-motion camera showing the bullet's entry point, the organs it pierces through, and the exit wound. The weapon feedback and satisfaction after every perfect shot is absolutely top-notch. Weapon customization is another strong point. You can tweak every single part of your guns, although you'll need to find specific workbenches hidden across the maps to unlock upgrades. The level design is also well done with verticality, secret paths, and shortcuts that let you approach your objectives in multiple ways. This freedom of choice adds immersion and replayability.
One of the game's biggest flaws is its repetitive structure. Missions feel pretty much identical from start to finish, without introducing new gameplay mechanics or encouraging you to experiment with different strategies or weapons. After completing the short tutorial at the beginning of the first mission, you've basically seen everything the game has to offer. Find a good sniping spot, eliminate as many enemies as possible, move towards the objective, repeat. While we appreciated the freedom given to the player, sometimes it's really unclear what you're supposed to do or where to search, leading to frustrating moments where you'll wander around the same house for half an hour just to find a hidden document. Enemy AI is also very weak for today's game standards. The story, not very engaging either. It's flat and forgettable, with a final mission that, without spoiling anything, we completed in about 10 seconds. Not joking. Not sure if we should laugh or cry.
Sniper Elite Resistance is online co-op only and is available on all platforms except Switch, with full cross-platform support. Honestly, the price feels too high for the content offered. If you're playing on PC, we highly recommend getting it through Game Pass. One very helpful feature is the ability to save at any point and reload from that save, which you'll need to use often, considering the game-breaking bugs.
Sniper Elite Resistance doesn't innovate much compared to its predecessors, but it still manages to entertain for a decent amount of hours thanks to its classic ballistic system and the legendary X-ray cam. More than a brand new entry in the series, this game feels like a large expansion to Sniper Elite 5, and it definitely suffers from a lack of originality.
That's why our final score is 3.5 multiplayer shields out of 5. If you're looking for a slower paced shooter or just want to have fun watching organs explode in slow motion, this could be the game for you. But trust us, don't play it for too many hours in a row. Boredom might kick in sooner than you think.
And that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on new multiplayer games to play with your friends. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Game on!